Welcome to another episode of Explained by AI.
Today we're going to be diving deep into the romantic life of Elon Musk.
To see what it reveals about him as an innovator.
Most people know him for his companies,
Right.
but his personal life is just as interesting and complex.
Definitely.
He's been married 3 times,
Wow.
twice to the same woman,
Okay.
and has had several other high-profile relationships.
His first marriage began when he spotted his future wife on campus,
Oh.
and he was smitten and relentlessly pursued her.
It definitely shows his drive and determination extend beyond business.
For sure.
He and his first wife had 6 children together,
6 children.
with the sad loss of one.
Oh, wow.
This desire for a large family is something we see throughout his life.
That drive also led him to become very work-focused,
Yeah.
which caused some difficulties in the marriage.
Right.
He was often described as emotionally distant.
That tension between his personal and professional lives seems to be a recurring theme.
And his second marriage.
Was to an actress.
Okay.
And it was a whirlwind.
Really?
A quick engagement, a quick marriage, then divorce, remarriage, and a second divorce.
It seems like intensity is a hallmark of his relationships.
Yeah.
That intensity also appeared in his brief but passionate relationship with another actress,
Okay.
which ended with Musk publicly expressing his heartbreak.
It's a side of him we don't often see.
Yeah.
The vulnerability beneath that innovator persona.
His relationship with the musician started in a very different way.
How so?
They connected over a shared joke about AI and art on Twitter.
It seems like that relationship was all about finding a different kind of balance.
Interesting.
They were both creative individuals with their own pursuits, but they also collaborated and supported each other's work.
That's great.
They had 3 children together and maintained a strong intellectual and emotional bond.
It challenges the idea that Musk's work always comes first,
Absolutely.
and suggests that he can find love and connection in unexpected places.
With his relationships with a Neuralink executive and another musician, with whom he has twins and 3 more children, we start to see some patterns.
All these relationships seem to stem from either professional connections or shared intellectual interests.
It's fascinating how those connections appear to fuel not only his work, but also his desire to build a family and leave a legacy.
It's almost like he's searching for partners who match his intellectual curiosity and ambition.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Think about the women he is drawn to.
Okay.
They're all intelligent, independent, and creative.
For sure.
They're not just bystanders in their own lives. They have their own voices and passions.
Right.
It actually raises an interesting question about why this type of woman appeals to him so strongly.
Could it be he needs that intellectual stimulation?
Yeah.
Or perhaps he subconsciously seeks partners who mirror his drive and ambition.
It's possible.
Right.
He seems to thrive on that energy, and maybe it fuels his own creativity and drive.
But this need for a strong partner who challenges him intellectually also seems to contribute to the intensity and sometimes the difficulties in his relationships.
Yes, because that same intensity that draws them together can also lead to clashes and conflict.
Especially when you factor in his demanding work schedule and his commitment to changing the world.
It's a constant balancing act, and one that he doesn't always get right.
True.
But it's important to acknowledge his willingness to be open about his struggles and the fact that he has expressed regret over past relationships.
It definitely makes him more relatable and humanizes him.
Totally.
He isn't just this unfeeling genius focused solely on technology.
Right.
He's someone who experiences the full spectrum of human emotions.
Including heartbreak and the longing for connection.
Exactly.
It reminds us that success and brilliance don't make you immune to the complexities of relationships or the need for love and belonging.
Now, we've talked about Musk always being the initiator in his relationships.
Okay.
He's not waiting for love to find him. He's actively pursuing it.
Absolutely.
He's proactive and confident, and he doesn't shy away from making the first move.
It makes you wonder what role that proactiveness plays in the intensity and sometimes the turbulence of these relationships.
Do you think that by always being the pursuer, he sets a certain tone or dynamic that can lead to challenges down the line?
It's certainly possible.
Okay.
And it's something to consider as we delve deeper into the complexities of his love life.
Another aspect we've touched on is his choice of partners.
Okay.
He seems to consistently be drawn to strong, intelligent, independent women.
That's definitely a recurring theme.
His first wife was a successful author in her own right.
His second wife was an acclaimed actress,
And then there's the musician,
the Neuralink executive.
another musician.
They're all women who are making their own mark on the world.
It really speaks to what he values in a partner.
Exactly.
He's not intimidated by strong women.
Nope.
He's drawn to them.
Absolutely.
And it's not just about their achievements either.
It seems like he's also attracted to their intellect, their creativity, their independent spirit.
He seems to thrive on that energy.
It's like he's looking for someone who can challenge him, stimulate him, and keep up with his relentless pace.
Someone who can be his equal, not just in intellect,
Yes.
but in drive and ambition.
It's a far cry from the stereotypical image of the tech mogul surrounded by trophy wives.
Absolutely.
His partners are anything but arm candy.
They're accomplished individuals with their own careers and aspirations.
And that appears to be a key element in what attracts him to them.
It's like he's seeking out a partnership not just in the romantic sense,
Right.
but also in the intellectual and creative realms.
A meeting of the minds as much as a meeting of the hearts.
Which brings us to another crucial point, the intensity of these relationships.
There's no denying that his love life has been anything but conventional.
From the whirlwind romances to the public breakups, it's clear that he experiences love and heartbreak with a certain intensity.
It's like everything he does it with his whole being.
Whether it's launching rockets or falling in love, he commits fully.
And that intensity can be both exhilarating and challenging.
It can lead to incredible highs, but also to dramatic lows.
And it often plays out in the public eye,
Right?
which only adds to the scrutiny and pressure.
It's almost as if his personal life is a microcosm of his professional life, marked by bold moves, rapid changes, and a constant push for the extraordinary.
But amidst the intensity, we also see moments of vulnerability.
Yeah.
We see it in his public expressions of heartbreak and in his reflections on the challenges of balancing work and personal life.
It's a reminder that even the most driven and successful individuals wrestle with the complexities of human emotion.
They yearn for connection, they experience loss, they make mistakes.
It's a humbling realization.
And it makes his story all the more relatable because it shows that even those who seem to have it all still face the same fundamental human challenges.
So we've explored the patterns, the complexities, and the vulnerabilities that characterize his romantic relationships.
And what we've discovered is a portrait of a man driven by passion, ambition, and a deep-seated need for connection.
But there's one more element we need to consider,
Okay.
one that ties everything together.
His desire for legacy.
He has spoken openly about his desire to make a lasting impact on the world.
And his personal life seems to be an extension of that ambition.
With 10 children from 3 different partners, it's clear that family plays a significant role in his vision for the future.
It's like he's building a dynasty alongside his business empire.
A legacy that extends beyond his own lifetime.
And his choice of partners seems to reflect that ambition.
He's not just looking for a wife.
Right.
He's looking for a co-creator.
Someone who shares his vision for the future.
Someone who can help him build a family that will carry on his legacy.
It's a fascinating glimpse into the mind of a man who's not content with simply changing the world.
He wants to shape the future generations that will inherit it.
And that's perhaps the most revealing aspect of his romantic relationships.
They're not just about love and connection.
You're right.
They're about building a future that extends far beyond his own lifespan.
It's a grand vision.
Yeah.
One that reflects his unwavering ambition and his belief in the power of human ingenuity to shape the world we live in.
And it adds another layer of complexity to the already fascinating story of Elon Musk.
A story that continues to unfold before our eyes. Let's start with his first marriage to Justine Musk.
They met while they were both students at the University of Pennsylvania.
He was very smitten with her and pursued her relentlessly.
Sounds like the beginning of a classic love story.
It certainly had its romantic moments.
Yeah.
They married in 2000
Okay.
and went on to have 6 children together.
6 children.
Although, tragically, they lost their firstborn son, Nevada,
Oh, wow.
at just 10 weeks old.
That must have been a devastating loss for them.
It undoubtedly put a strain on their relationship,
Yeah.
but they seemed determined to build a family together.
They went on to have 5 more sons,
Yes.
which is quite a testament to their commitment to each other
Yeah.
and to family.
But as Musk's career began to take off, the pressures of his work and his ambitious goals started to take a toll on their marriage.
He was often described as being consumed by his work,
Right.
and sometimes emotionally distant.
There's a famous anecdote about how he would often work late into the night, even on their wedding day.
Really?
It highlights the intensity of his focus
Yeah,
and his dedication to his goals,
for sure.
but it also shows how that intensity could sometimes bleed into his personal life.
Justine has spoken openly about the challenges of being married to someone so driven and ambitious.
She described feeling like she was living in his shadow
Wow.
and struggling to maintain her own sense of identity.
It's a common challenge for partners of high-achieving individuals,
Uh-huh.
balancing their own needs and aspirations with the demands of their partner's career.
And in the case of Elon and Justine, it seems that balance was difficult to find.
They eventually divorced in 2008.
It was a very public
Yeah.
and somewhat acrimonious split.
But despite the challenges they faced together, they seem to have maintained a relatively amicable relationship as co-parents.
Which is a testament to their maturity and their commitment to their children's well-being.
Musk's second marriage to Tallulah Riley was also marked by intensity and unconventional choices.
They had a whirlwind romance,
Really?
marrying just weeks after meeting in 2010.
It's a pattern we see throughout his relationships,
Uh-huh.
a tendency to move quickly and decisively,
Perhaps it's a reflection of his overall approach to life.
always pushing forward,
Yeah.
always taking risks.
Their marriage was short-lived, however.
Okay.
They divorced in 2012, only to remarry in 2013, and then divorce again in 2016.
It's a testament to the complexity of their relationship,
Yeah.
and perhaps to the challenges of reconciling two strong personalities and demanding careers.
Despite the turbulence of their marriage, they have remained on good terms,
And Riley has even spoken fondly of Musk in interviews.
describing him as a remarkable human being.
It suggests that beneath the headlines and the drama,
Yeah.
there's a genuine affection and respect between them.
Following his divorces from Riley, Musk had a brief but intense relationship with actress Amber Heard in 2017.
It was a very public romance,
Uh-huh.
with both of them sharing photos and messages on social media.
But it ended after just a few months,
Wow.
with Musk reportedly heartbroken.
He later described the breakup as very difficult.
It's a reminder that even the most successful and seemingly self-assured individuals are vulnerable to the pain of heartbreak.
That even geniuses experience the full range of human emotions.
It humanizes him in a way and allows us to see him not just as a tech mogul, but as a person capable of deep feeling and vulnerability.
After Heard, Musk began dating musician Grimes in 2018.
Their relationship was somewhat unconventional. They're both highly creative individuals
Okay.
with distinct personalities and interests.
But they also seem to share a deep intellectual connection.
Yes.
They collaborated on artistic projects, and they often engaged in playful banter on social media.
Their relationship challenged the traditional norms of celebrity couples.
In what way?
They seem to prioritize their individual pursuits while also supporting each other's endeavors.
They welcomed their first child together, a son named XAA2, in 2020.
A name that sparked much curiosity and discussion.
And they later had a daughter named Exa Dark Sidereal Musk via surrogate in 2022.
However, their relationship ultimately came to an end in 2022, with Grimes confirming that they were semi-separated.
Despite their split, they have continued to co-parent their children, and Grimes has spoken positively about Musk, describing him as a great dad.
It suggests that they have found a way to maintain a healthy and respectful relationship for the sake of their children.
In addition to his relationships with Justine, Riley, Heard, and Grimes, Musk has also fathered twins with Siobhan Zillis, a Neuralink executive, in 2021.
And 3 more children with Claire Boucher, known as Grimes, in 2023.
It's clear that family plays a significant role in Musk's life, and that he prioritizes having a large family, which is interesting considering his demanding career and his ambitious goals.
It raises questions about his motivations and how he manages to balance his personal and professional lives.
It's a topic that has generated much speculation and discussion, and it's one that we'll delve into further as we continue our deep dive into the complex and fascinating world of Elon Musk. That deserves further exploration and analysis.
It's a reminder that even the most brilliant minds are shaped by their personal experiences,
Right.
and that understanding those experiences can provide deeper insight into their motivations and actions.
Looking back at all of his relationships, we see a distinct pattern in his partners.
He clearly has a type: strong, intelligent, accomplished women.
It makes you wonder if he's drawn to that type of woman because he sees those same qualities in himself.
It's a possibility.
Yeah.
Perhaps he's seeking a partner who reflects his own ambition and drive.
Or maybe he's subconsciously looking for someone who can challenge and stimulate him intellectually.
Someone who can keep up with his relentless pace and engage in meaningful conversations about the things that matter to him.
That need for intellectual stimulation seems to be a recurring theme in his relationships.
He's not content with superficial conversations or idle chit-chat. He
Why?
wants to talk about ideas, about the future, about the big questions that keep him up at night.
It's almost as if he's looking for a partner in thought as much as a partner in life.
Someone who can share his intellectual curiosity and help him explore the uncharted territories of his mind.
And it's not just about intellect either.
He also seems to be drawn to women who are creative and unconventional.
Women who are not afraid to break the mold and challenge the status quo.
Perhaps he sees a bit of himself in those qualities as well.
Yeah.
After all, he's a man who has made a career out of disrupting industries and pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
So it makes sense that he would be attracted to partners who share that same spirit of innovation and rebellion.
We've talked a lot about the intensity and complexity of his relationships.
There's no doubt that his love life has been anything but ordinary.
From whirlwind romances to public breakups, he's experienced the full spectrum of emotions in the spotlight.
And while some might see this as a sign of instability or immaturity, I think it's more a reflection of his passionate nature.
He's someone who lives life to the fullest.
Whether it's in his work or his relationships, he goes all in.
And that intensity can be both exhilarating and exhausting.
It's a roller coaster ride that not everyone is cut out for.
But for those who can handle it, it can be an incredibly rewarding experience.
One of the things I find most admirable about him is his willingness to be open about his vulnerabilities.
He's not afraid to admit when he's made a mistake.
Yeah.
Or to express his feelings of sadness or regret.
In a world where men are often pressured to hide their emotions, it's refreshing to see someone in his position being so candid.
It makes him more human and relatable.
For sure.
And it shows that even the most successful people struggle with the same challenges as everyone else.
Now, let's talk about his desire for a large family.
With 10 children from different partners, it's clear that family is a priority for him.
It's interesting to consider why someone who is so focused on his work and his mission to change the world would also want such a big family.
Some might say it's a way of ensuring his legacy.
Of passing on his genes and his values to future generations.
Others might suggest it's a reflection of his deep-seated need for connection and love.
Perhaps he finds solace and fulfillment in the chaos and joy of family life.
Whatever the reason, it's clear that his children are a source of great pride and happiness for him.
He often talks about them in interviews.
Yeah.
And he frequently shares photos of them on social media.
It's a side of him that we don't often see.
The tender and loving father behind the tough exterior.
It's a reminder that even the most ambitious and driven individuals have a soft spot for their loved ones.
So what can we ultimately conclude about Elon Musk based on his romantic relationships?
I think it's safe to say that he's a complex and fascinating individual.
Definitely.
He's a man of contradictions, driven and ambitious, yet also vulnerable and in need of connection.
A visionary leader who is also a devoted father, a man who pushes the boundaries of what's possible in both his work and his personal life.
His story is a reminder that even the most extraordinary people are shaped by their relationships.
Absolutely.
And that the search for love and meaning is a universal human experience.
Do you have any topic that you would like to have explained? Drop in the comments.